wasn't the one. Beginning of AWE starts with... Must need to search it. Wake. Wake. It's under Wake. Alan Wake. Faden rides the elevator. Oh, look at the face. It's two faces.
Darkness engulfed the elevator. There was something there. A presence. Jesse Faden could hear it. A call. It was faint, reaching for her from a dark place. Faden was sensitive to visitations. She had them all the time. From her guiding star and the previous director. She was the perfect receiver. As if she'd been made for this. Faden paused to feel it. The force at play here. It was changing things around her, subtle, trying to make her act. Faden didn't like that. Her guide felt it too. Polaris didn't flare up in defense as with the hiss. So it wasn't all bad. Not a hostile transmission. It was powerful, but it was coming from far away. And made weak because of the distance. It was a distress call. Faden sensed a drowning man. A man desperate to escape. She sensed something else too. A hunger in the dark. Not unlike the hostile resonance. Waiting. She knew that desperate acts can have grim consequences. It was this, more than the man's despair, that made her follow the call. The elevator lights winked back on. The darkness receded like a memory. There was a new button on the elevator control panel. Investigation Sector. Faden pressed the button.
Investigation Sector.
The elevator doors slid shut with practiced bravado.
He's getting through a lot of words really quickly for beep, boop, 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 typing. I thought for a professional author he'd be a little bit more of the... Just saying, you know, just saying.
Give him hell, Director.
Investigation Sector. Ooh. Get a bit of Alan Wake in you. The doors... Is it just... Oh, I was wondering if the doors weren't opening then. Explore the investigation sector. Okay.
Hello?
Hello?
Anyone here?
Guess not.
Oh, wow. I'm gonna need that power for somewhere else.
More crowded than the rest of the bureau.
Tractor supply. Looks like we got a lot of reading material. That's... I mean, we could have taken the stairs. Okay, some certificates. Alright, so we either need a new power supply or that one.
There. Now that gate should open.
Okay. What was that powering? Look at all the case files. Oh, man, we're reading forever. Is it just powering that? No, you didn't need that. Oh, lights. Okay. Yeah, I mean, if you don't practice your abilities, you'll lose them. That's how that works. Darling investigation. Per authorization from Mr. Kirkland, internal investigation was launched into the ethical practices of Dr. Casper Darling, head of research. Despite the accounts of anonymous redactions regarding inhumane treatment of a redaction currently housed in the Bureau, our official findings regarding this were inconclusive. Numerous obstacles arose during this investigation. The majority of redactions, sector personnel seemed to be wholly unaware of any such redactions contained there. One redaction confirmed the redaction's codename to be redacted, but all files pertaining to that name were inaccessible, being classified under the highest clearance level. Investigators were similarly blocked from entering the redaction. Research wing to interview its staff. The matter was further complicated by lack of clarity on whether non-human paranatural entities warrant humane treatment. While this investigation cannot address any charges against Dr. Darling, we do recommend an investigation into redaction research. Per authorization from Mr. Kirkland, redaction redacted was launched into the redaction of Director Zachariah Trench. A recent charge in redaction witnessed in Director Trench, including aggressive redactions when redacted with other staff, has been observed. However, this investigation is aimed at interpreting this issue rather than proving it. Notable redactions between Director Trench and Dr. Darling have been witnessed by numerous Bureau staff. Although both declined to meet for an interview on the matter, witness accounts suggest their arguments center around the Dimensional Research Wing and the redactions kept inside. However, no evidence exists to confirm Director Trench's redactions as anything more than interpersonal disagreements. This investigation has concluded that Director Trench's behavior is not indicative of any redaction and that his fitness to lead is not in question. Dr. Rhea Underhill is a professor at the University of Woodrow in the United Kingdom, where she teaches biology with a focus on botany. Dr. Underhill once worked with the Bureau as a parabotanist stationed in research sector in the oldest house. She served with no incidents or demerits and is praised by those who formerly worked with her, including Dr. Darling. Dr. Underhill has no known connections to the paracriminal organizations or any record of breaching her NDAs since leaving the Bureau. Her civilian behavior has been ideal with the exception of an ongoing personal relationship with Dr. Darling that appears to have begun during their time as co-workers in the research sector and revisited intermittently ever since. Depending on the duration of her work in the oldest house, it may be required to have both parties sign a relationship clearance form. This investigation has found no compelling reason to deny Dr. Darling's request to offer Dr. Underhill an interim position with the aim of finding a solution to the mold threshold issue. Okay, the tractor is not in the Bureau. A Frank Elk tractor, olive green, dried blood on the grill when last seen. Item capable of vocalized responses, or growls. An unmanned locomotion. Considered highly aggressive and dangerous. Item first came to Bureau's attention after the death of William Burrow, owner of Burrow Farm, outside of Trenton, Texas. Local authorities arrived at the scene after an employee found the mutilated body of Mr. Burrow beneath his tractor. Police arrived but were immediately driven away by the tractor. Panicked calls to federal authorities were intercepted by Bureau communication staff. A team was dispatched. Upon arrival, agents approached the item. It responded by growling like a bear. 3 agents were injured when they tried to detain the item, which escaped. Aerial searches for the item are ongoing. Speaking to Mrs. Burrow only revealed that she had a domestic altercation with Mr. Burrow earlier the night of the incidents. Whether the events are connected is currently unknown. Supplementing materials. Miscommunication led to a local coroner examining the body of William Burrow. Male Caucasian, 33-year-old man found dead on his property. Per police report, remains obtained for coroner's office also included blood, urine, bile, stomach contents, and bone fragments. Blunt force injuries to the head, lacerations, more blunt force, dislocation. Complete avulsion, multiple organs. Well, it is my opinion that Mr. Burrow's death is not the result of a mechanical accident as claimed by authorities. The removal of organs is consistent with animal attack. Yeah, I want to see this tractor. Mr. Dennis, a request came through recently from an FBI agent asking for all our files on Bright Falls, specifically on the disappearance of the author Alan Wake. Per the Interagency Information Exchange Agreement, I had some paper pushers gather up a folder of all pre-approved files. Don't worry, all the inappropriate material is either missing or redacted. But I'm writing to let you know that we received this request from a special agent named Alex Casey. Sounds familiar, right? That's because Alex Casey is the name of the fictional detective in those hard-boiled crime books Alan Wake wrote. Pretty interesting that an FBI agent sharing a name with the most famous character Wake wrote is looking into a case dealing with the writer's fiction coming true. I think this is worth looking into, but what's your opinion? Just give the word and I'll start surveillance on this guy. Mr. Kirkland, here is a list of agents confirmed missing, presumed dead from the containment breach yesterday. Letters of condolence will be delivered to you to sign prior to sending to families. You'll be updated as soon as additional confirmations are made. Also, per your request, network engineer checked how many cases were backed up digitally. Unfortunately, a large number of active investigations were not yet archived. Only hard copies exist beyond the firebreak. They're lost, I'm afraid. To whom it may concern, it is with great anger and regret I tender my resignation as head of investigations for the Federal Bureau of Control. I do this in protest rampant disregard of my department's redactions. My staff cannot continue to work in these conditions. Previous requests and warnings have fallen on deaf ears, so I must now rely on my actions to speak louder than my words ever could. I blame this situation on our redaction, who has routinely ignored my requests for assistance in reclaiming parts of the investigation sector lost to the redactions loose inside. I will never forget the screams of brave agents begging for us to open that firebreak. I will carry that shame for the rest of my days. The redaction has failed his agents. I shall never forgive him for that. Sincerely, William Kirkland. Yeah, Plasmodium, in the middle of it now. Kirkland, I'm growing tired of your blatant attempts to lay your incompetence at my doorstep. I know you want this to be true, but you are head of investigations. The failure is your responsibility. What did you think would happen holding a dangerous specimen investigations? The containment sector exists for a reason. They are better trained and better equipped for this type of work. In fact, they have admirably taken on certain AWE monitoring responsibilities that your staff are no longer capable of. This happens more and more now. You don't think your petty internal investigations have gone past my notice. You are a worm. Everything I've done has been for the benefit of the Bureau. The prime candidate program only failed because of Darling. You are both failures, plotting against me. You are traitors, but the truth will emerge out of you. You are choosing to become my enemy, Kirkland. You don't want to be. Zachariah Trench, Director. Mr. Dennis, so yes, there's an increase in AWE cases, and yes, it would be a good idea to put together a special task force to examine exactly why that is. However, it seems a tiny detail has slipped through the cracks. We don't have the damn staff. You expect us to detect, investigate, and process more AWE cases, you need to give us more people. Simple math. Between the staff we lost in the Hartman thing and the ones who left for other departments after Kirkland quit, we're barely managing to keep up with the workload. Hell, just filing the paperwork for all altered items we left behind in the sector has been an ordeal. Another thing, and this is going to sound paradoxical, but we have overcrowding situation. Don't have enough staff, but you're overcrowded. This lobby isn't meant to accommodate a whole sector's worth of staff. We put forward a motion to move investigations to a more suitable location months ago. Better not be sitting on your desk. People are getting restless, and it's Kirkland's interim replacement. It's your job to handle it. Best regards, Agent Grayson. Alright, let's see if we can find a tractor. If we get some more redactions. Specimen Escape Assessment. We probably should read that one. The purpose of internal investigation is to examine the containment failure of specimen SI-1 that resulted in deaths of redacted agents. The inspection report on the containment equipment 3 days earlier showed no faults. Investigators suspect human error to be the cause, yet no department has provided any evidence to support this. Technicians were able to recover the researcher's notes on the specimen for the internal network. On the redaction of redactions, the specimen began displaying a sharp increase in aggressive redactions. Cross-referencing the date with various logs found only 2 events inconsistent with sector's daily routine. The air filters were changed, and an hour prior to the incident, a civilian named Alice Redaction entered the sector regarding an unrelated investigation. Given their connections to the same AW case, it is likely that Mrs. Redacted's presence in the relevant to the specimen's escape and redaction. Investigation ongoing. Well, I thought there'd be more about the specimen.
I'm no detective, but something definitely happened here.
Group of individual has operated outside the Bureau's notice for decades, perhaps longer, displaying level of skill and caution rarely seen in paracriminal groups. A review of past cases has found various mentions of their activity over the years. 2016, company called Blessed Pictures was connected to an altered item case, as well as the death of an agent from exposure to illicit paranatural materials. We heard about that in the previous one. 1994, a Los Angeles-based public speaker named Chester Bless was involved in illegal use of an altered item. 1988, a business called Blessed Repair and Service was suspected of... There's a lot of Blessed things got here. None of the business or individuals have ever been located. However, their connection to appearance of altered items and objects of power is too direct to be considered circumstantial. An arrest order has been issued for any persons believed to have been involved with Blessed organizations. Rule of 3 applies.
Do we know each other? This feels familiar. I can't seem to... I've forgotten it. I'm sorry. My name is Alan Wake.
That's weird.
Who are you?
Shake hands with yourself.
Who are you? Do I know you?
I'm your friend Tom. Tom Zane. There's nothing to worry about.
Tom. The poet. The diver. You look different.
That was just a role. A character. The protagonist I played in my old film. I'm a filmmaker. An auteur like yourself. We're working on this together, remember? An artistic collaboration. You need a drink. Gippish.
Looks like he's had too much to drink already.
Endless darkness. Nothing holds still.
But we're very close now. You've been writing. You found a way to escape. It'll work this time.
Riding?
You found a way!
No. I don't... Wait. There's something. It's my double. He's out there. I've seen him.
Yeah. Nothing to worry about. I'm dealing with it. It's fine, my friend. Let me handle him.
You've met him? What the hell?
Now, come on. You misunderstand me.
That was Alan Wake, the writer who went missing in that AWE case I read about. What's he doing here? And Thomas Zane was with him. The poet. No, wait. He was a filmmaker. I always remember that wrong.
I think we've been able to look outside before because it's been like daytime and bright. It's always had sunlight shining in. Oh, echo. Okay. We turned 3 things off. Bell's still not working. The cord goes back. There's a key. Pyramid room.
Dr. Emil Hartman, devoured by hungry darkness, became the thing that had been. Dr. Emil Hartman was desperate. The Federal Bureau of Control had stolen his life's work. This was his last chance, his final experiment. What he'd been too scared to do before. Hartman dove into the lake, was taken, devoured by hungry darkness, became the thing that had been Hartman. Only an echo of him remained, fragmented impulses on autoplay, violent, bloodthirsty darkness in the driver's seat. Emerging from the lake, the thing was captured by the FBC. Brought in, contained, studied. The thing broke loose, killed everyone it could. The FBC fell back and sealed the sector. The thing was alone in the dark, lurking, roaming, waiting.
I know, right, Zazzy?
Then something else came. Not darkness, but similar enough. A sound, a resonance. It shouldn't be a surprise. If there's one, why not another? The darkness inside the thing could have been immune, could have resisted, fought, could have been passed by, passed through with no effect. But it didn't, and it wasn't. Maybe it had grown weaker over time, not aged. It was timeless, but weaker with no link to its source. A metamorphosis followed. The thing that had been Hartman went through another change. Hartman broke loose, killed everyone it could, lurking, roaming, waiting. Then something else came. A resonance. The thing that was Hartman
And 3.
went through another change.
Oh. Yeah, thanks so much for the Prime sub. Ooh. Appreciate the support. We're going. Calm down, Jesse. Let's go.
Creepy, damp, and abandoned. Why did Wake want me to come here?
Do we not have a mission? All your health is belong to me. Seriously, who keeps mods in the toilet? What's going on here?
That doesn't look like a house shift. Do I even want to know?
That's a safe room. That's not where you're meant to keep them. Well, I mean, not in the bowl. That dude's like, am I nothing to you? You're stopping to read reports? It's like, pretty much, man. You're like a level 7 with no armor.
Of course, the hiss are already in here. Whoa. Looks like the house has gotten a little wild in here.
Hello, my feet gossip at night and now I have to wear shoes to bed. Sincerely, me. Emil Hartman. Okay, a couple of redactions in the names. Offender's property seized as evidence to be used in conjunction with ongoing AWE investigation. Offender's personal effects have been sent to research for analysis. Being cleared by Bureau researchers, all victims have been released. Biannual surveillance orders were assigned to each except Anderson's brothers due to their senility, and Wake is possibly deceased. There was an oldest house party, and I wasn't invited. Much bingo was not played.
This darkness is blocking the door, so now I have to deal with an interdimensional noise and sentient shadows.
Sentient shadows.
Burns it away, huh? Makes sense.
That area looks like death. You might stay clear of that. Thanks, Polly, with the assist there. come with me. Talk to the plant, Jesse.
The third thing. The sound made darker, the darkness made... The resonance carves its way through the thing that had been Hartman, vibrating, remolding. The sound changes the darkness, and the darkness changes the sound. They both changed what remained of Hartman. They all turned into something else. A third thing. The sound made darker. The darkness made louder. Hartman was stretched. Stretched as anyone when seen from out of time, like a worm through time. Almost an Ouroboros, a spiral, a maelstrom. The gravity well of a black hole, twisting inward, tightening, taking you deeper and deeper to the bottom, the heart, and through to the other side. The third thing said, when you hear this, you will know you're a new you. He said, we build you till nothing remains. He said,
You had
under the
SpongeBob teach us
conceptual
typing?
reality behind this reality, you must
Maybe he
want
didn't like
these
SpongeBob.
ways
Yeah,
to
you're right.
drag you away. He said, baby, 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 yeah, orange peel. The third thing was a monster. He'd tear apart any ordinary person crossing his path. Now he crashed out of darkness toward Faden. There was nothing ordinary about Faden. Louder. Hartman was stretched like a
Need
worm
power?
through time. The third thing was a monster. Now he crashed out of darkness toward Faden.
There's a thing there. Which we could, like, just break through the window, or we could burn it back. Kirkland, so you put me on my desk duty just because I did a thing I was hired to do. My job. Want to know what I call that? BS. Asking us to interrogate these scum without using words like altered items or AWEs or paracriminal is the stupidest thing I've heard in my life, and I've heard some effing stupid things. They already know the facts. Hell, they know just as much as us, if not more. And they get to sit here laughing at us while we dance around our words, trying not to leak classified terminology. They already know the terminology. If you think pulling me off the case will stop me, then think again. That piece of crap blew up those tracks, he killed those people, all make train turn altered. We have him dead to rights, and you need to let me back in that interrogation cell so I can get him to flip on his buddies. These people are terrorists and deserve to be treated as such. This won't stop unless we stop them. You go ahead and put me on suspension, see if that slows me down. Agent Hewitt. It seems like Wake is writing the story and we're doing it. This is the DLC, it's kind of only really just started.
Plants in here
Nourish the plants.
start standing. The air in here is getting bad.
Oh, these are side quests?
Vents, they are
Darkness everywhere. New day, same old bloody city, said the old way. Like tar but good for nothing. Get rid of it.
So we might get these side quests done along the way, they're just sort of... Yeah, the whole game is what the heck. Guaranteed. Paranatural entity A010 also known as the Shadow, is an aggressive redaction consisting of 3 known types. Type A, localized manifestations of sentient redactions capable of occupying organic and inorganic material as well as exerting redactions over its surroundings. Type B, shaded individuals, human bodies redacted by the Shadow. These individuals become notably more aggressive but do seem to retain redactions of their previous selves. Research is ongoing as to whether this condition is reversible. Type C, shaded objects. Similar to Type B, except that inanimate objects are redacted solely to be used as destructive tools. Each type seems to work towards a shared goal, possibly targeting certain individuals, which may imply a shared link to redactive intelligence. The threat this entity poses warrants immediate exploration of an offensive-defensive measures. The investigation sector is being outfitted with additional lighting sources, some internally powered, to prepare for the eventuality of a redaction. Train derailment resulting in 62 casualties and numerous injuries was suspected to have been the work of paracriminal group known as Redacted. As a result of this event, the agents discovered that one of the cars had become altered with a persistent auditory event. It remains to be determined whether the AWE was spontaneous or the direct result of the sabotage. The Bureau has been tracking said group at the time, and intel gathered suggested an event of this caliber was imminent in Bloomington. As a result, the response team on site was able to respond to the train accident site within minutes of its occurrence. They arrived to find emergency process underway, but also equipment left behind by the suspected group. A suspicious onlooker managed to elude agents after they attempted to make contact. Further investigations of the accident site revealed a curiously undamaged train car that exhibited an altered state when entered. This individual car was secured and transported to the investigation sector for further studies. Ah, crap. Come here, you. I've got 3 friends. Peace Ranger Airborne. Yeah. I think we know that they, we don't need to read this. We read enough of the people's ones. They tell us about the enemy we just, fought against. I'm pretty sure we understand that they fly. However, this... Black market records could be interesting. NASA cooperation review. I'm gonna be careful how I read that one. It might, incriminate my contract with them as an Australian. That's the sound of one of those guys I controlled running out of control and being, what's the word? Terminated. A black market hub specializing in the trade of occult talismans, relics, and other assorted ceremonial objects, as well as genuine altered and paranatural materials, was raided in Redaction, Czech Republic by a team of special investigators. Unsuccessful attempts by suspects to escape using altered items resulted in numerous casualties and prevented the Bureau from questioning all participants. The following interrogations revealed that not only is there a vast network of these retailers, but they seem to be gathering information on altered items and other paranatural materials from sources unknown to the Bureau. The Bureau's concern here is threefold. A, there is a growing underground market for paranatural materials, which implies a growing awareness of their existence among the niche group of the general public. Yeah, that's bad. B, the criminal individuals do not seem aware of the item's paranatural powers, and their attempts to activate them could prove devastating if done in populated areas. And C, the motivations of these collectors are largely unknown. The NASA report. Following a bunch of stuff, the Bureau has provided NASA with numerous technological advancements based on our research, including the black rock lining now found in all space-faring vessels. In return, all data gathered during space missions is made available for Bureau researchers to analyze. Recently, certain individuals have raised concern that this relationship does not adequately benefit the Bureau, either intellectually or financially. Thorough examination of the costs accrued by both organizations has shown that the expense of NASA's recent launch of the redaction far outweighs any spending related to the process and delivery of black rock. From its medium Earth orbit, the redaction will provide Bureau with unparalleled resource for remotely monitoring, photographing AWE sites, a resource that would be lost if the partnership ends. This is the opinion of the committee that maintaining cooperative relationship with our colleagues at NASA is of vital importance.
I don't feel right.
Okay, Jesse? Jesse?
Something in this darkness is draining me.
Turn on the lights, Jesse. Better not be a bird.
What? What is that?
Devoured by hungry darkness.
Come on, elevator, time to go! Fuck, fuck, fuck!
So you don't like the light? I can use that. Nothing even touches it.
Come on. See it, Jesse. Hang on.
There we
What is that?
Yeah, how do you like that?
Like a Slender Man. There is so much written stuff here in the game. Only it had been voice acted.
Arcade machines. Shim. Whatever.
Crowd control or deadline? read the stuff while you guys work out what we should play. An excursion into Ocean View Motel and Casino discovered a previously unseen door in the lobby hallway. This door featured a spiral-shaped marking, designation door redaction. Similar to the other doors, it is locked and cannot be opened. That's Alan Wake's door. Alice Wake, a person of interest in the Bright Falls AWE, the former wife of missing author Alan Wake, suspected para-utilitarian and redaction, contacted agents Shah and Dempsey in the investigation sector using a phone number given to her in her 2010 accordance with civilian outreach protocols. The call resulted in Mrs. Wake being brought into the oldest house for an in-person interview. A full transcript referred to file redaction on redaction 2017. Excursion into the Ocean View Motel occurred later that same day. Determining whether this was a basic synchronicity event, if Alice Wake is responsible for its appearance, or if the door itself relates to AWE 35 is paramount. Should she be returned to the oldest house, possibly even taken to the motel itself to confirm if any other changes occur? Dr. Emil Hartman is an academic psychotherapist that owned and operated Recovery Center in Redaction, Washington, maybe, focused on the treatment of artists struggling with creative blocks and other mental disorders. Publicly, Hartman's treatment center seemed unremarkable in its methods and purpose. Privately, however, Dr. Hartman was abusing his patients in order to utilize any latent redaction abilities they may possess with the aim of shaping redaction to his own benefit, which has earned him a Class II paracriminal designation. For more on the link between artists and their ability to redact reality through artistic mediums, see file redacted. Investigations have proven Dr. Hartman's illegal endeavors were conducted alone. After being approached by the Bureau during redaction investigation, he displayed no remorse or intention to cease his actions. Dr. Hartman was taken into custody, evaluated, and released redacted months later, having been deemed a negligible threat. His medical license has been permanently revoked. On the Night Springs screenplay was found after the Bureau acquired the Night Springs television series and all its past episodes. It appears to be written by Alan Wake as part of an application to become one of the show's writers. Episode Over the Threshold Darkly. Well, that's the thing we call the things, with the thing at the Ocean View Motel, the thresholds. It's only human nature to wish control of the forces around us, even more so to possess them. But what happens when those forces are not ours to claim, or even of this world? What if they are things you can discover in Night Springs? We are in a secret lab. A large sign on the wall reads, the Federal Bureau of Night Springs. I've told you several times Director isn't ready. It's ready when I say it's ready, Doctor. But the point being the portal. We have no control over it. It's a Night Terror Demon. Slender Man. Plague of Power Control. It was Washington? Yeah, I got it. Survive against a horde of Hiss. Wait, this doesn't look like a 80s video game. Yeah. Oh. I wanted to play the motorbike riding night on the dance stage. 1 credit equals 1 heart. Awesome. Maybe now we can go downstairs though.
What are you doing in investigations?
Jesus, don't scare me like that, Langston.
If you're talking right now, I can't hear you. It's a one-way system. Try to find an intercom.
Langston, it's me, Jesse.
I know. I can see you on the monitors. The cameras in there haven't worked since we sealed that sector off a couple years back.
Let me guess. You sealed it because of the monster guy.
Wait, did you see Dr. Hartman? Jesus, I really wish you hadn't opened that fire break.
Oh,
okay, listen,
the
you
big
need
dude's
to
Dr.
find
Hartman.
Hartman and kill him before he gets out into the Bureau.
That thing is a person?
He was a person. We brought him here to study after he was, altered in an AWE. I forget the medical word for what happened, but now light physically hurts him. Do you have a flashlight?
No.
A lantern? Headlamp? Oh, yeah, flare gun. Oh, Christmas lights. You could wrap them around your...
I don't have any of those, Langston.
We're gonna Christmas tree ourselves.
Shit.
Nice.
Okay, well, I'm sure you'll think of something. I'll keep an eye on you from the Panopticon. This is kind of exciting, right?
Maybe from where you're standing.
Yeah, I was just thinking that maybe for him.
Okay, well, break a leg.
Maybe not for the person who's
why did
actually
I
in danger
say
of getting
that?
killed.
Okay, this Hartman thing can't have gotten very far. Let's go flush him out. Langston was right. This is kind of
It's just
exciting.
nice to have someone to talk to, you know? Ever since I got put in charge of the Panopticon, people treat me different, like I'm crazy
Bureau
for
alert?
wanting
What's
to
with
work
the
with altered
alerts? Go
items.
away.
People just don't understand the altered items like I do.
Alright,
you
gotta
know?
find Hartman in 2 areas.
I don't want to brag, but it does take a very empathetic mind to connect with the items.
Doesn't
Still, I
want to
don't know why
brag.
people are making it so personal.
Right.
I
I
mean,
get
the
into
teams
here?
in research handle paranatural materials
Not yet.
every day, and no
Alright,
one
let's
thinks
go
well, maybe that's not
Frau
true,
Marrow,
darling.
because it's at the top of the thing on the third thing.
There, but when he's weird, it's charming. Altered items really aren't that frightening.
He's reminding me of Wheatley from Portal 2 right now. He's just talking along as we go through the game. Ooh, come this way. I know, what if I go in here and... Oh no, evacuate. Okay, I don't care how desperate you are. Don't get Jesse to help you move house, right? I mean, her moving service is free, that's true. Panz, you don't seem to be trying very hard. That's because I'm over the combat. It's like the combat was fun for I think an hour or two, and then it's like no. It's just like shooting with stuff. Actually, no, I lasted a lot longer than that. I got to the point where the enemies stopped getting harder. Because the enemies did get harder as you moved through, probably for the whole first day. So like 8 to 10 hours. And then after that, the enemies didn't get harder or more unique or different. You just started having waves and waves and waves of them. That's not very complicated. Like, you either shoot or you press the E key, which gives you an item, right? And then you launch that at one of the enemies. And it's good, right? It plays nicely, it works very well. And then you can seize like this guy. It's kind of cool. Like I said, it got to this point where instead of getting new and unique enemies, because there's only so many you can come up with as a game dev team, which is fine. But they didn't make them tougher or stronger. You just literally had to just start fighting through lots and lots more of them. Oh, there's another one. Need a light. Need a flashlight. You've got to watch out too. If you leave an area and then come back, sometimes it triggers that you want to fight again. Power move. Use levitation to use the toilet without touching the seat. Yeah, okay, I'm down. Oh, there it is. Combat. You're on my team now, buddy. Plug you into something, I'm guessing. Like that. After. Buttons become active. There we go. Push that button and nothing. Come here. Ooh, we've got the Shum arcade cabinet. Distance of 10 feet between items suppress their effect. Items are a pair of arcade cabinets originally designed for the games Shum and Shum 2, Kolga's Revenge. The games were manufactured by Bonko Entertainment, now out of business. Despite being a popular arcade game in Japan during the 80s and 90s, no other Shum cabinets have been found by our investigators. When touching one of the item while it stands within 10 feet of its counterpart, the user's mind is transported to a version of their subjective reality that resembles a video game in logic and function. Events from their everyday lives become game-like sequences in which their speed and efficacy are paramount. The brain enters a stroke-like state as proven by EEG studies on users, which only ends after the user finishes their game, at which point they resume their normal brain and motor function. No, just regular cabinet machines. We've already come across them. We played the game, but it put us into an area of the building where we had to fight the dudes that we fight normally. Which makes a lot of sense now that they mention that that's what it does to the users. Where's my light? Where'd my light go, game?
Shit.
Is my light getting destroyed in here? Rude. Can't stick. Right, so what we do is we grab that power supply. Right, and let's put it in here. No, let's... Yeah, game, you could just give us more power. There's like a billion in the other room. And stop. Destroy all the darkness? I think it looked like it did. Come with me. Slender Man. Where's power? No, I just need a spot to plug it in. Good. Right, so the power's at the back of the room. Makes sense. Does that mean the power ports up the front? Take this thing. Where is the plug? This is where we... Okay. It's like another one of these turnstiles, but this one looks like it's not turning. He's like, please don't notice me, please don't notice me. Surprise me. Heck yeah, give me that. All your healing is belong to me now. Snipers, man. Man, I thought I got that sniper, but I think I got hit before I could complete the seizure. Okay. Push the button. Probably fight the things from the I just don't want to fight anymore. So we're going to have to take down the sphere first, because the sphere now is early games they were, you could ignore them if you needed to, but you just can't now. The heal they give, everything is far too strong. Give me bureau alerts. I'm in the middle of combat. Turn your page off. I think I'm getting close to the point of frustration where like I just don't want to do the combat, so my heart's not in it, so I'm not even trying. I'm just sort of lazily running around hoping the game will, whatever's happening in the encounter will do it so I can just run through the door. Come on. Stuck on something. Man, I got picked up heaps of health packs. It just didn't even heal me. Okay, if I reach the end, we can just go through the door. What is that? That's the dude. Look at him.
Looks like whatever force had a hold on Hartman isn't mixing well with his corruption. Blake did call a chain letter. I remember these. Mom used to say they were evil. Better do what it says. You know.
Okay.
Just in case. There must be a photocopier around here.
Hartman is the first Type 2 shaded individual to be examined alive by Bureau and has proven a valuable asset for our understanding of the shadow. Like all shaded individuals, specimen is constantly shielded by or produces a reduction of darkness that makes visual observation difficult. This reduction also protects... there was a photocopy around. You got it thrown at bad guys, yeah. The specimen used words and phrases that seem to originate from its previous life as therapist. Some phrases have been identified as quotes from Dr. Hartman's book, The Creator's Dilemma. This seems to indicate the host personality remains redacted to some degree. Some research purposes, shaded Hartman was relocated to the Cauldron Lake Lodge, replica built for redacted AWE investigation. Researchers hope a familiar setting may trigger new behavior. This experiment has yielded no results thus far. And there's the chain letter. No, I'm not reading a chain letter.
This is the director. I need backup at my location.
Nice to see a director out in the field.
Yeah. I love being out in the field, where the enemies are. I don't know, let's throw more.
Push up! Got you covered!
I do like the inclusion of being able to call someone to be fodder for you. It's quite helpful. We're looking for some sort of power supply, maybe? Feels like we're going... Well, there's also a pipe there. Apparently. No, the pipe is here. Where'd my light go? I very specifically put it down nice and carefully. You jerks. Fra Maura Ore.
I knew you'd be here.
Okay, something that requires power over there. Is power. Oh, cool, bosses at one shot. I think it's better and better. Woo! Okay, so I need a light, even though I very specifically had one. I brought it with me. Game stole it. We're gonna need to find a light so we can let that, that... Stop it. Okay, so I found out what we need the power for these things. Yeah, we need some sort of light source to get. Alright. Does nothing. Check in here. There's nothing up the left side, or I don't believe there to be anything up the left side. There to be anything up the right. We'll go up the right side this time. We can just grab that one. Okay. Where's my energy? Recharge. Is it getting bugged now? Or is it just gonna... Game, please. Like... Why is the game sapping me? Oh, okay. She did say, I think the first time we went into the dark, she's like, something's sapping my energy or something. And so maybe it's just being in the darkness, stopping energy. So we need to grab this and just hoik it, I think. Okay. That was... I don't know what the signals were with the buttons back
One
and
less
forth.
place
But
for him to hide.
just takes us back to the start. I do like that the game's giving you options of, in quite a lot of areas, it's giving you options of you want to go left or right first. Types of situations.
All right, Ati.
DLC
Was
had
this what you had in mind?
the previous DLC had a which power do you want to take first? Still can't upgrade my gun. Yep. We go from Operations Center. Oh. Or maybe we could have just run straight through.
It's just nice to have someone to talk to, you know?
Shut up,
Ever since I got put in charge of the Panopticon, people treat me different, like I'm crazy for wanting to work with altered items.
That's because you're
People
crazy.
just don't understand the altered items like I do, you know?
The bright balls.
I don't want to brag, but it does take a very empathetic mind to connect with the items.
Doesn't want to brag.
It doesn't want to brag, but won't shut up. That's another screenplay page. Paranatural entity arrived on Earth by infiltrating Apollo 14 lunar mission at an unknown point of their voyage to Frau Maro Highlands on the moon. 32 hours after the return of Apollo 14 command module to Earth, Bureau was contacted by Mr. Redacted. White House senior official instructed send a small team to Johnson Space Center in Houston. At the base, the team examined the entity and carried out interviews with NASA staff. They learned that 4 astronauts had returned to Earth instead of expected 3. Each human crew member was insistent that the mission left with 4 members. Though they couldn't name the 4th when asked, the entity seemed affected their memory, make its presence feel unremarkable. The entity was transported to the oldest house for further investigation. Altercation between NASA's security investigation team occurred upon arrival. Mr. Redacted called to clarify the matter, though tensions remain high. Bureau jurisdiction and clearance should be defined more clearly with other federal agencies. Apollo 14 entity, commonly known as FRA, underwent what series of examinations upon its admittance to the oldest house. The entity can speak, but its poor grasp of English language makes meaningful communication impossible. Interview material can be found at redaction. Physical form consists solely of extra-vehicular mobility unit, spacesuit used by NASA astronauts, the same model worn by other crew. This could be an authentic EMU taken from one of the NASA astronauts, though this suit does not bear anywhere's name and one materialized through redaction, conversion, or possibly redacted corporealization. The suit itself is slightly damaged, which is likely due to the fact that the command module did not have a 4th seat for entry to strap into during re-entry. The EMU is entirely hollow and pieces can be removed. Though this seems to agitate the entity, X-rays, spectrograph imaging have shown redacted shape outlines existing within the suit. For safety reasons, the entity will be contained in a secure cell until more information can be gathered.
Right.
Alright, well...